Introduction to Matter. In this section we are going to describe matter, talk about what specifically it is, and then properties of matter. And we'll specifically look at chemical and physical properties of matter. So matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. Examples of matter are air, plastic, metal, wood, glass, paper, cloth. The little picture right here depicts the different states of matter, and specifically it's talking about the states of H2O, or water. We have solid state, liquid state, and a gaseous state. Different types of matter have different properties or characteristics that can be used to identify and classify it. Materials can be hard or soft, hot or cold, liquid, solid, or gas. And the pictures down at the bottom of the page give a representation of some of these things. Chemistry is the study of matter and how matter changes. The Venn diagram right here has two different things that are made up of water, so a glacier and a geyser. And in here we want to identify the things that are specific to a glacier and the things that are specific to a geyser, and then the things that are similar. So a glacier, it's made up of frozen ice. It's fairly cold usually. It's usually a fairly large area of water. A geyser, on the other hand, the water is in a completely different property. It is warm, usually in the form of steam. It's usually under pressure, and much of the water for a geyser is stored underground. The things that are similar between these two are they are naturally occurring. Obviously, water makes up both of those, or is used in both of those. The makeup of water, H2O, that's similar between the two. Both of them have water as a substance, and then both of them also have fresh water. Matter is described by its properties. Every form of matter has two kinds of properties, physical and chemical. And we're going to get specific about the physical and chemical properties here on the next couple of slides. So physical properties are characteristics of a substance that can be observed without changing it into another substance. So for example, taking wood and cutting it up using either a chainsaw or an axe. This picture shows an axe, but it could be using a chainsaw, cutting a tree into smaller sections. That would be a physical change. We're not changing the properties of the wood itself, we're just cutting it up into smaller pieces of what it's always been. Chemical property, on the other hand, they are characteristic of a substance that describes its ability to change into different substances. So to observe the chemical properties of a substance, you must try to change it into another substance. So for example, taking that same wood and burning it, we're creating a chemical change. Turn the wood into carbon compounds. Much of it's released into the atmosphere when it's burnt in the form of carbon dioxide. Some of it becomes ashes, which is basically just leftover carbon. So a chemical change is going to change the chemical makeup of the substance. It's going to become a new substance. Whereas a physical change, it's still the same substance, it's just smaller pieces usually. Other examples. Physical property of water is that it freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. When liquid water freezes, it changes to ice, but it's still water. A chemical property of iron is that it combines slowly with oxygen, and it forms a substance called rust. So both of these are examples of chemical and physical properties. Now if we were to take that truck and we were to take the fenders off and maybe grind it down, we would be changing it physically. It would still be iron, it would just be broken down iron into smaller sections. So our Snickers bar lab. In our Snickers bar lab, we're going to compare chemical and physical properties. And we're going to observe chemical and physical change and how they occur. It's important that for that lab, you need to make sure that you are following the directions completely. Don't skip on any of the directions, and follow them exactly as they are inside of the lab sheet.